If you're watching this video, you're probably thinking to yourself, Alex, what kind of clickbait title is this? This is fake. You did not make $50,000 in 3 months as a nurse. That doesn't happen. Well, it does happen, and it's crazy. For anyone new here, hi, my name is Alex. I'm a pediatric travel nurse for the last year, and I've been doing this just to see how crazy lucrative is this field, because I've heard from everyone that basically you're making a ton of money through nursing and you're just doing the same job as a staff nurse basically. It's almost similar, but it's kind of different. When I'm working in a hospital as a nurse, you literally cannot tell the difference between me and a staff nurse. Like, we're wiping the same butt, we're doing the same assessments, doing the same vitals, giving the same medications. It's all the same, we're nurses. Now here is the difference, is that with travel nursing, you're literally going from hospital to hospital 3 months at a time. So a contract with travel nursing is typically around 13 weeks, sometimes it's 8 weeks, or sometimes it's longer. So let's say I do a contract in New York City for 13 weeks, and after I'm done, I can go anywhere. I can go to Florida, I can go to Texas. Maybe I feel too cold in New York City. I wanna go somewhere that's warmer, so let's go to Florida, let's do it. But here's the thing, if you also like your job where you're at with your contract, like say you have the best patients, best boss, best coworkers, and you don't wanna leave, you can always ask to do an extension. So for me, for my last contract, I loved it so much. Actually, it was kind of strange how much I fell in love with the patients and the staff. So I asked my boss to extend my contract for another 3 months after my initial 3-month contract. And she was like, yeah, stay on board. So I did 6 months at a hospital as a travel nurse, and it worked out. Now, whether if you're a nurse, a doctor, a tech, an MA, my mom, my dad, you have heard about how much travel nurses are getting paid right now, because it is crazy. Like, my friends who don't work in healthcare at all know more about travel nursing than I did in the beginning because it was so lucrative. Back when I was a baby nurse, I met one travel nurse who told me how much she made, and you're not gonna believe this because I still have trouble believing it, even though it's true. She told me that she made over $10,000 per week working in the same job that I was in the same unit. $10,000 per week, people. Do you know how insane that is? Like, I could not believe that. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. As a nurse, are you kidding me? $10,000 per week? I was literally making like $29.50 an hour, and she was making like, I don't even know the math. It's over 100 bucks an hour easily. And honestly, at that point, who cares how much you make? You're making 10 grand a week. Woo! Wow, that's crazy. And I think that's what inspired me to become a travel nurse, because that is life-changing money. Now keep in mind, her rate of 10 grand a week was crazy, but it was also kind of a 1 in a million situation, because that was in 2019 at the peak of the pandemic, where the hospitals were on fire and they needed nurses badly, because our ER was like, at one point we had 5 nurses for the whole ER. So during the pandemic, that's not good. That's not good at all. So the hospital was like, we need nurses now, and we'll pay for whatever they want. And people took that offer. So since then, I haven't seen a 10 grand a week contract, but like, I don't really care. Like, honestly, you can pay me 2 grand a week and I'm still over the moon about it, because that is twice the amount I was making as a staff nurse. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I do overtime, I feel like I'm the richest man in the entire world, because my paychecks will go from 800 bucks to like 1,200. And I thought, I am gonna buy the whole world with this money. And thanks to travel nursing, we're definitely making more than 1,200 bucks a week. So right now, I'm gonna show the exact breakdown of one of my contracts, from how much I make in my stipend, my hourly rate, how much I make per week, and how much I made for the entire contract. The exact numbers right here. So if I did my job right, you should see the image right here for a contract for a pediatric PACU nurse, which is what I did. It is for a night shift for 40 hours per week, and it is 10 hours per shift, so it's 4 days a week. In the PACU, you work weird shifts, so that's why it looks a little funky. And you can see it's for a total of 13 weeks, which is kind of the usual cutoff for a contract. In travel nursing, you might see like a 6-week, 8-week, 12-week contract, or even like a 24-week contract. They exist, but they're kind of harder to find. But if you see them, if you like them, go for it. Now let's go into how much am I exactly making per hour. So right here for a regular pay, you can see I'm making a rate of $87 an hour and 72 cents. And you multiply that by 40 hours. It's so awesome because it literally does the math for you in the contract. It is $3,509 per week. And for the whole assignment, it is $45,000, $615 for the whole 13-week contract, which is pretty dang good. And since I was a PACU nurse, I was on call, which is not unusual for this kind of position. It was a rate of $5.60 an hour, and I never got called in, so it didn't even matter. And you can see here, if I decided to work overtime, which is over 40 hours per week, I will make a rate of $175 per hour and 44 cents. Now, we're not done yet. There's a whole another part of this contract that's really important that people don't really think about. As travel nurses, we don't just get paid to do our job as nurses, we also get paid for housing and meals because we have to eat and sleep, people. So as travel nurses, we get a separate income just so we can live. So if we scroll down, we can actually see what we get paid for meals and housing. Let's do meals first. So for 7 days, we get paid $59 per day times 7. That's $413 per week. So for an entire 13-week contract, that is $5,369. Again, this contract is so great because they literally do the math for you. Not a lot of agencies do this for you, which is kind of weird. And now let's do housing. So for each day, we get $96 times 7. That is $672 per week. And for a whole 13-week contract, that is a total of $8,736 just for housing. So you can use that money for an Airbnb, for a hotel, for maybe you're crashing at someone's place, anything you want, as long as housing related. And finally, they actually give you money for gas, which is awesome. So, but it's not a crazy amount. It's only $186 and I'll take it. Thank you, that's awesome. And now we're at the last part of the contract where it gives you a kind of a big rundown on how much you're making for the entire thing. So for the entire contract, before taxes, we're making $4,594 per week before taxes. But after taxes, it is $3,892 per week, so pretty freaking good. And for the entire 13-week contract, we're making $59,906 for the entire 13-week contract before taxes. And after taxes, it is $50,783. So I wasn't lying to you guys. $50,000 right there. That's 100% real. It's crazy. And do you know what the crazy thing is about this contract? This is considered one of the lower paying contracts out there for my field. I sometimes will take a lower paying contract depending on where it's located, if it's like closer to home, because I get homesick. So I would choose this contract over like an $8,000 a week contract. Like honestly for me, this is really good money and I am happy with it. I'm not gonna cry about missing out on $8,000 a week. Like I'm fine with this. I'm really happy with this. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it gives you a real look into what travel nursing is and how much you make. If you're wondering how to become a travel nurse, I can make a video about that as well. I can basically do a whole step-by-step breakdown on how to do exactly what I do. Because when you're starting out, it is so freaking confusing on how to become a travel nurse because there's so many different things you have to know. But with me here, if you give me a camera, a mic, some good lighting, in 10 minutes, I can tell you everything you need to know on how to do exactly what I do and potentially make $50,000 in 13 weeks. And again, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is my 3rd video now on YouTube, and I'm still so passionate about doing this. And just keep commenting down below. I read every single one of them, and I need more ideas for my next video. Do you want more day in the lives? Do you want more educational resource videos? Let me know. But guys, until then, I love you. Thank you. See you on the next video.